Hey guys, it's me Krish and welcome back to another video on my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Krish. If you're not new to my channel, welcome back to another video on my channel. And for today's video, I'm going to be doing a story time on how the whole entire school, including me, thought there was a fire in the school building, but in reality, someone just pulled the fire alarm that had made it went off to think that there was an actual fire. That is like a really long name. I don't know what I'm gonna title this video. Basically, the name of the video is exactly what happened. I decided to do a little story time and a little rundown of what really happened because there was no real fire, mind you, because that's what we all thought. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy, and without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so it was a normal Friday. It was actually October 28th and we were in our 8th period class. So it was like the middle of 8th period and then the fire alarm went off, which mind you, it was really confusing because like they wouldn't really make us do a fire drill when it was raining. Yes, it was raining really badly outside, so we were all confused. We were all like, there is no way they're making us do an actual fire drill in the pouring rain. Also, it was like 53 degrees and windy, so all three of those combined just don't do well for us Texans. So yeah, mind you, it was freezing outside. Everyone had their hoodies, their umbrellas, and we were just trying to get as comfortable as possible. So yeah, at first we all thought it was just a fire drill, like normal fire drill, you know, until like the teachers told us to go to the MAC. If you don't know what the MAC is, it's basically where they have like a locker rooms for like sports that aren't actually on the school campus. And yeah, so for like tennis and soccer and stuff, that's where they go to change and put all their stuff up. So there's like this little room. You can play like football, soccer, play anything in that room. It can fit a pretty big school, and our school isn't like too big, so that was no issue. So there was this one lady who told us to go to the back. I was like, go to the back? I was confused, like, why are we going to the back? Like, isn't this where we usually stand for a normal fire drill, which is in the front of the building? So I was like, why are we going in the back of the building? It's literally raining down, pouring down rain. Like, why are we going to that? And then everyone was like, we're going to the MAC, we're going to the MAC. I was like, why are we going to the MAC? So as I was walking there was like an ambulance like circling the school. I don't know what the ambulance was trying to do. I think it was just trying to make sure everything was like okay, because they probably thought there was a real fire, so the ambulance had to be called to, you know, check up on everything. And I was like, oh, this is probably real. Like, it wouldn't be an ambulance if it was just a drill, because never in the times I've done a fire drill has like an ambulance actually popped up. And I was like, this is most definitely real. Like, there's no way this is fake. The whole entire time I was in the MAC, we were walking, I thought it was real. Yeah, we ended up evacuating the school and we had to walk across the school to the MAC. So like the school building is like right here and the MAC is like right here. It took about like 10 to 15 minutes to get everyone in the MAC building. Mind you, it was raining, and by the time I was in the MAC building, my jacket was soaked and there was like really big puddles. So actually, obviously I had to step in them. So my socks were soaking wet, which was really uncomfortable. And usually if there was a fire drill, the teachers would like let us know, because they usually get an email and you usually do them monthly. We already had done a fire drill or like a drill in general, so it was very confusing to me while we were doing a fire drill out in the rain. I just thought, oh, this is probably just a fire drill that they randomly decided to do last minute and they weren't able to tell the teachers. So yeah, we like stood in a line like you would usually do for a fire drill. We were outside like for like 10-15 minutes for like the amount of time we had to walk into the MAC. And then as soon as we got to the MAC, they told us to go into the back, so we just kept on walking until we got to the back. We stood like in the perimeter of like the MAC building, and the MAC building is really big, so yeah, it was like cold, but it was like hot at the same time. I don't know how to describe it, but the fans were also going off, so it just felt a little more chillier. Right after you come like outside, in like 53 cold rainy weather. Like the day it had to happen on like a rainy day. I don't understand why, but so as soon as they got everyone into the Mac building, I was like, what are we gonna do in here? Are we just gonna stay in here until it's safe to go back inside? I mean, they probably wouldn't let anyone go back inside, but I had all my stuff in the classroom, so I was concerned on how I was going to get all my stuff back to me, because you know I couldn't usually like at the time go back into the building. So that's what I was really concerned about. Texted my dad, he told like my entire family. So then once we got into the Mac building, they just told us, you know, hang in tight, we'll give you the next further instructions. So they made us go to like one side of the Mac, and then the teachers were like right in front of us. So they started like escorting us to our teachers by subject, and they told us to like sit down. So I found my teacher really easily, and I was in physics, and we have a long-term sub, so she's our actual teacher. But yeah, I just was there, you know, confused like on what really happened, like how the fire had happened. But yeah, they told us to sit down. We were there for like a good 45 minutes, I would say, and then they were like, we're going to let y'all go back into the building and we're gonna be on normal schedule. And I was like, wait, why are we going back in the building? Isn't there a fire? Like, how is it safe to go back into the building when it's literally only been like 45 minutes? And in my head, I'm just like, oh, maybe they just cleared everything up, they got everything situated. But no, I was still soaking wet. It was still pouring down rain. I was cold, like literally I was really cold. I was really soaked as well, and I just wanted to go home. When I was in the Mac, they were probably like, I was probably thinking like, maybe they're gonna send us home, because there's no way we're gonna be able to go back in the building. They're probably gonna send us home for the rest of the day and see if they're making us come to school tomorrow. So then I went into my 9th period class, and I heard rumors of like a fort getting like pushed into the microwave and like some cooking class, I'm guessing. Those were just rumors I was hearing. Obviously they weren't true, because that wasn't actually what happened. So basically what actually happened, there was no fire, there was no explosion. What actually happened is someone pulled the fire alarm and it made it go off to make it seem like it was the drill. I don't know who did that. Why would they do that? I don't know. I'm not sure if they did it on accident or purpose, but it could have been on accident, because like they were in PE class and the ball could have like hit it, or like they could have accidentally hit it with the ball. I'm not too sure, but that is what happened. It was very interesting to say the least. Nothing like that has happened to me while I was in the school. A real fire has actually happened at the school. It was back in 2019. I wasn't there, so I can't really give a full story time, but a real fire has happened at that school before. So I was like, oh, this is probably normal. I mean, it's not normal, but I mean, it happened before, so I was like, oh, it can happen again. I mean, there's a chance it could have happened again. I was just curious to see like why they did that. Everyone was soaking wet, and it was very interesting. I wasn't really scared or anything. I also never took it seriously. I mean, I didn't really put it into my brain that there was an actual fire. Obviously I felt more like safer outside the school building. I guess that's just a test in case like a real fire did actually happen. They're just trying to prepare us for an actual fire. So that's why we have fire drills. But this one was like different. This one was like a false alarm fire drill. I'm not sure like why this had to happen while it was raining. Like if it was a nice, gloomy, sunny, cool day, I wouldn't mind this happening, but like on a rainy day, come on. Yeah, the fire alarm thing was still like flashing, and it was really hurting my eyes a lot. Yeah, it was very, I wouldn't say like scary or terrifying, because it wasn't scary or terrifying. It was just like weird, because nothing has happened like that to me in school before. It was like, it was different, it was interesting, and everyone was so mad when they found out it wasn't a real fire, because we had just done all of that for nothing. And we were all kind of just irritated, because we were out in the rain, we were all soaked, and it was just not fun being out there. It was very cold as well. That was not fun at all. Like, not a way to spend a Friday. That was not fun at all. Like, I wouldn't want to do that ever again. Like, literally don't want to do that ever again. And it was also really pointless, because like there was not a real fire, and people posted TikToks about it. I made a TikTok about it too. I'll probably insert it like on the side or something. I just kept thinking there was a real fire. I was like, I can't believe there was a real fire. Like, it just seems so unbelievable to me, because like nothing has happened to me from those 3 years I've been there. Well, this is technically my 3rd year at the school. I've been enrolled in the school for 4 years, but I'm not counting my freshman year because of COVID. But anyways, it was just very interesting. It was really irritating because we didn't really know what was going on. We weren't really getting told anything as well. There's like, hang on tight, we'll tell you more information, hang on there, thank you for being patient. I was like, oh my god, what in the world is going on? And also the Mac was like filled with people. I just felt like claustrophobic. I was like, I can't do this. Yeah, it was weird. Everyone was posting about it on Instagram. It was definitely a day. It was definitely a day that I don't want to experience again. I mean, it's not the worst that could have happened because there could have been an actual fire and we could have actually like been in a situation that was scary. Luckily, there wasn't a fire. I'm glad there wasn't a fire because if there was, that would have been the 2nd time there was a fire at that school. The first time it happened in 2019. It happened in the bathroom. I'm not sure how because again, I didn't go there. I just saw like videos about it back in 2019. It was definitely interesting. I have videos and pictures, so whenever I'm talking about a certain thing and I have a picture or video for it, I'll pop it up on the screen just to know that I'm not lying about this. There's proof, like literally this is a real story that actually happened. I'm not just making this up. Thankfully there wasn't a fire. I'm really glad there wasn't because that would have been traumatizing. Yeah, I'm glad everyone was safe and like out that building. Just in case there was a fire, like if there was an actual fire, then it would be good for us like to evacuate. And I'm glad there is that Mac building so we're not like stuck outside. And if there was a real fire and we were stuck outside and there was no Mac building, we would have been drenched, like really soaked, like worse than like how soaked I already was. Like just to mention, I was still like soaked as soon as I came home. Like my jacket was still like damp and so were my socks. Like it happened at like 11 something and I came home at 3 and they were still wet. They weren't as wet, but like they were still wet. So yeah, that is going to wrap up today's video. I hope you guys found this interesting. This was definitely an interesting day for me, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell right beside the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.